Okay, so welcome to your third tutorial on C programming provided to you by Slap. Alright, so last exercise, the last tutorials, we talked about the Hello World program, which is basically one of the first programs most programmers write. So maybe some programmers might write more complex programs, it happens, but if you had a mastery of it, if you understood it, then I think you're coming along really well. So now we're going to go into something a little bit different. We're going to learn more about printing, though this time we're going to be printing integers based on the fact that they are given a value. So let's jump right into it. Let's save this as display int, alright, .c. Save that. Okay, that's saved. So the first thing, so obviously we have a skeleton for this. Please, it's not a standard skeleton because it will vary, but for these tutorials most of them are going to use it like so. So we're going to use what we call variables. Okay, variables, as you know it, are not constants. All right, it's the variables which you know which store values. Okay, so we're going to create a variable, and in C programming, variables are created and specified based on the data types. Okay, we have many data types. Okay, integers, characters, strings, etc. So the data type we're going to use here is an integer because we want to store integers. So we're going to do this int, and let's call the variable a. Okay, semicolon. So we're going to give a value. So it's simply saying a equal to, let's give a value 25. All right, now you cannot do a equals 25 without initializing a. Okay, without saying that there's an integer called a, without declaring that variable. Alright, so let's print out a. So we need the printf statement. Remember, we use the printf statement because of the header file we're using. Okay, so in C programming, alright, we have ways to print out variables. How do we do that? Using format specifiers. Okay, so we go ahead and we tell our PC compiler that, hey, I have an integer. Alright, so how do you know I have an integer? I'm going to write this, so you look for the integer and I'm going to specify it. Alright, so the format specifier for integer is %d. That is it. For characters it's %c. For strings %s. There's so many of them because there's so many variables. So %d. So %d is an integer, so we need to tell our compiler that this particular integer is what we're looking for. So we have this format specifier for an integer, and we're saying that we call the variable a. That is what we're doing. So let's save that, let's compile, and let's run it. Alright, let's run it and actually see what we have. Good. So you have 25. Oops, probably I should do the \n again. There we have it, 25. So we have actually printed out the value of the integer, the variable a, 25. So with this way, you can actually have multiple inputs and they tell you, okay, I want you to print this particular input, and you just simply print it using this format. Alright, so this is the method in which you are printing variables, or you're telling the user, okay, there's a variable and it has this value 25, but the user hasn't given you any values. Okay, so we're also going to show you how to print when the user gives you a value. So you're going to print the user's value. So let's try something else. Mind you, you could always, meanwhile, when you're initializing your variable, when you're declaring your variable, you can always give the value at once. Alright, so this will still give you the same output, 25. So let's probably try for a character. Let's do char. Okay, char b equal to t. Okay, so the character variable b stores the value t. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it out, and change this to %c, and change this a to a b. Save it, compile it. Alright, okay, so we have an error. Then I'm going to explain the error. Okay, so our error comes up as a result of the way we actually declared the value of the character. So characters cannot be declared as integers. They are characters and they have to be treated specially, so we put single quotes between them, surrounding them, and we compile. Voila, so we don't have any error anymore. That's fixed. And if we run, we're going to see 25, that's for A, and T, that's for B. Alright, so that's fine. Now you see, you can easily have a value stored in a variable and you want to print it out, and you easily do it using the format specifier and the name of the variable. It's that simple. Okay, so there's nothing extra to it. That's it. There's no magic in it. So if you're told you have this variable having this value, please print it out. That's all you do. All right, thank you very much for watching. Slap out.